And we're doing it in two basic ways. One is we're helping the data analyst to go and prepare the data and enrich the data. You've seen the sentiment analysis, the topic extraction, the image tagging. This is all data preparation. The other place where we are investing is the interactive experiences that the analyst is preparing for the consumer, for the business user. And that's where we think there's huge potential. This is where we believe that we can really make AI in BI pervasive, and not just pervasive. We're talking about practical and powerful things that will really work beyond the demo feature. So I want to bring Justina back to show us some of the work we're doing around AI and BI.
Thank you, Amir. OK, so let's start with our business users and our story for AI.
And you have to change the monitor.
Oh, I do have to change the monitor, yes. Cool. And so over here, we have a report looking at Hawaii tourism. And as a business user, the usual kind of workflow about what I would do is slice and dice my data to try and find some interesting trends. But with Power BI, what we try to do is automate finding all of these insights for you. So over here, if I look at, let's say, my visits by date, we can see there's been a bit of a fall in US West. And all I have to do inside Power BI is essentially just right-click on this particular line. I can select Analyze. And Power BI already knows that I might be interested in explaining the decrease. And so it's just going to go ahead and proactively find me insights as to what is causing this dip. And in this particular case, we can see there's actually been an increase in honeymoons and conventions, but there's been a huge fall in vacations. And I can go ahead and scroll through and understand what are the various contributing factors that are causing this particular fall. Now, another thing that we have introduced actually in the August release of Power BI is the ability to ask a natural language question from directly inside the report. So I can go ahead and select this button over here. And this is going to pop up Q&A. And it's already got some pre-populated questions that my analyst has suggested. So I can scroll through these. So here, for example, I'm seeing, I'm looking at my spending by island and date. And I can actually see that in Lanai, the spending is kind of continuously higher. And we actually did a little bit of digging. And it turns out that Lanai is predominantly owned by Larry Ellison, who is Oracle's CEO. And you pretty much need a private jet to get there, and it's got all these, super expensive hotels.
It's also where Bill Gates got married.
Wow,
this is why Larry Ellison bought the island, by the way.
Oh, OK. Well, okay. That makes more sense. But yes, essentially, so you can see this is why, this sort of spending is over the roof. Now I can also, go ahead and type in my own questions. And let's hope my typing is a little bit better this time. So imagine I want to see what drives, visits to the various islands. And so I look for visits by trip purpose. And something that we're working on, which isn't released yet, but I'm really, really excited about, is the concept of asking follow-up questions. So I can click on asking a follow-up questions. Power BI retains the context of my question. I can either go ahead and write a new natural language question, or what's even cooler is we have this insights engine that I just showed you guys that's actually being powered here. And it's proactively telling me, hey, this is a question you might want to ask based on what you've just plotted. So if I select what affects this distribution, what we see over here in this very tiny graph, for some odd reason, this is very, very small. But we can actually see that when it comes to trips coming to Hawaii, that where you're coming from is very, very important. So if you're coming to Hawaii from Japan, you're much more likely to be going there for a honeymoon than if you're coming from any other country. And again, we did a little bit of research. It turns out 50% of Japanese honeymoons that take place outside of Japan actually take place in Hawaii. So there you go. Now, thank you. Now let's jump back into, yes, as Amir said, I couldn't resist showing you guys some AI features and the data flows. But now that I've loaded my data into Power BI Desktop, let's see how I can leverage those AI enrichments that I added in my data flow directly inside the desktop. So here we have a very kind of odd-looking Power BI report. We have a bunch of unstructured textual data, which are all my reviews. And we have a bunch of images as well. And I can cross-filter the stuff using Power BI. I can highlight all the different hotels. And my reviews will update. But let's now leverage those things that we brought in as AI enrichments to add some structure to this report. So I'm going to get rid of this map for a second. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in the sentiment score. And this is the sentiment score we calculated inside our data flow. Yes. And I'm going to plot it by hotel name. And so we have 5 hotels over here. And we can see very, very quickly that I can identify which hotel might be a problem area for me. So it's a little bit small, but you can see here is Hotel 4. This has the lowest sentiment, so I can just cross-filter Hotel 4 and understand what kinds of things people might be complaining about. Now we've also brought in this image model. So we've gone ahead and tagged all of the images inside our data set. So I can just firstly bring them in and kind of see what kinds of things are people plotting, or what kinds of things are people taking pictures of when they write their reviews. But not only can I bring these images in, I can now cross-correlate this with the sentiment that I've also calculated. So I can create a bar graph out of these two, and we can very quickly see what kinds of things people like when they're taking photos and writing reviews, and what kinds of things are they not so happy with. And let's make this a little bit bigger because it's a bit hard to read. So for example, if you're taking a picture of a water view, chances are your review is pretty positive, and we can see happy people, nice pictures of water views. And then we can scroll all the way down to the bottom, and we can see when people are taking pictures of ACs, for some reason, they are not very happy with their holiday. And we can cross-filter that, and we can kind of see pictures of old, broken, loud, dirty ACs, and we can kind of see this is going on with the reviews. And they're mostly coming from Hotel 4. So as a hotel manager, this is kind of Hotel 4 is a problem area for me. I probably want to investigate to see what's going on there. So this is all the AI enrichment capabilities that are coming in for analysts. And very quickly, just to wrap up, what I wanted to show you is also the capabilities for our data scientists, because how could we forget our data scientists? So if we go back over here for a second to this report, and or let's open it up from scratch because it seems to be misbehaving.
We are out of time.
Sorry. OK, well, just because we are running out of time, we have 15 seconds, so very, very quickly, what we are allowing you to do is actually bring in Python into Power BI. So you'll notice this, well, it's unfortunately a little bit grayed out now, but this Python icon. So you can bring in Python visualizations, you can bring in Python data via Python connector, and you can also do Python Power Query transforms. So if you're familiar with the R integration in the product, it's basically the same stuff coming into the desktop, but from a Python perspective.